and because the Lakers are also an international team, they're a global brand, fans live vicariously through their greatest idols, right? And because of Kobe's style of play, and when your eyes were on him, that kind of just subjective experience of, oh my God, this is the best thing I've ever seen. And because you live vicariously through them, and because they transcend, the Lakers do, allegiance to your city. It's not just they represent a whole generation of people feel like on some level they don't even realize, I think, that his accomplishments were their own. That he was a guy who was, Kobe was never going to die. Kobe he wasn't done. Yeah. There's a reaction that's just different about this one than something like an athlete passing when they're older, or someone may have a drug issue, or some great athlete even dies tragically. This, I can't really think of a parallel in sports history too. Not even, I think, Lou Gehrig had, yeah. But this was not sudden. He's diagnosed with the disease, and it happened rapidly, but people had a way to prepare for it. Thurman Munson, plane crash, and I love Thurman Munson. I grew up a Yankees fan, but Thurman Munson was not quite to baseball what Kobe Bryant was to basketball, nor is baseball the kind of sport that gives you the same kind of emotional kind of response that basketball does, I don't think. And baseball's my favorite, but nevertheless. Rocky Marciano, heavyweight champ, had retired, and Marciano was huge. He wasn't as big as Kobe Bryant. This is, I think, unprecedented in terms of the kind of scope of the figure, the suddenness of the tragedy, the emotional connection of the number of people to the subject. I don't think the sports world has ever experienced anything like it.
There's a JFK feel to it a little bit. I want to say this because I've been watching all this coverage all over the place. I'm sure as hell if we were to do a deep dive into a lot of people's lives, you uncover some pretty gnarly things. There's an ebb and flow to everybody's life here. I give him so much credit because there's this insatiable appetite to continuously get better. Yeah. To get better in every aspect of life, not basketball, being a husband, which takes a lot of practice and a lot of work, being a father, learning how to be a father. And I think the thing that makes me the most sad out of this whole thing is that, and I've been through this on my journey to try to get back into the league, and obviously playing my time at Duke in my first year in the league. Like, in order to be great at something, you have to be so myopic to a degree. You have to be so fixated and focused. And we saw that kind of concentration and detail by Kobe that it takes away from other aspects of your life. And I think for him to retire at 37, you saw that transition into the second act of, wow, let me become more myopic about my family and spend time with my daughters and my kids. And I feel like we're about to see the better version of Kobe, because as Kobe is like an iOS system, he was always being rebooted. He was always trying to become better. And that's the part of it that really...
Didn't it seem like Kobe was having the best second
Yes.
act? I mean, Magic Johnson also had a great one.
He never looked happier than sitting next to Gianna, right?
That's the thing.
Sitting next to his daughter.
We've seen superstars, one in particular that comes to mind, Michael Jordan. I'll just say, Michael Jordan, who's a billionaire, who owns a team, who's the greatest player ever, who's the closest thing to Kobe and Michael were basically facets of each other. And there was, Kobe seemed happy. It's not just that he was accomplishing. And this is not just the obit now, so now we're all gonna, he seemed happier in his second act than he'd ever been. And not only was he a major success, he won an Academy Award and everything, he seemed happy.
Yeah, and was continuing to inspire all of us beyond basketball and the next generation. We'll get much more into that. We're gonna take a quick break. We continue our remembrance of the life and legacy